How good would each Clash Royale card be in the military? My name is Will the Reaper, and that is what I will be determining today. This idea was brought to us by Retro Gamer D14Z. So please comment down below, and I will pin your comment, and there's your shout out. Um, if the rules are simple, I'm ranking these cards from effective to somewhat effective to decent to basically cannon fodder, and then to useless, or it would just be horrible for us to have in our military. So yeah, let's get down to it. And obviously, most of these characters are going to have we're going to give them weapons. They're going to have their own guns. So let's start it off. Skeletons. So skeletons are like a little bit fast. I don't know how well they'd be at handling weaponry. I'd say they basically be cannon fodder. They might be able to take like one person out in war, but realistically, like they're gonna probably struggle with holding a gun. A bomber on the so a bomber would be like a grenadier. It would be I think that's what they're called. Someone that would like throw grenades. Could be very effective if placed in the army. Yeah, just keep throwing the grenades and stuff. Yeah, be very effective. Goblins, I think goblins would definitely be somewhat effective. They're very fast. They can be a little bit sneaky. I think if they had like a knife or a gun in their hand, they could definitely take out some people. But I don't think they'd be like the best characters. You know what I mean? Like the bomber would be so good at throwing bombs. Like there's no way that the bomber wouldn't be effective. Spear goblins, here's the thing. Spear goblins are also fast. They do have that sneak factor to them. But spears would not be that effective in the army, right? They literally get destroyed in 2 seconds by like 20,000 bullets. But because they need accuracy to throw those spears, they'd have very good accuracy with the guns. So lightning, okay, zap spell. I don't know if the zap spell be good. Maybe you could like stun or like hurt some enemies. Maybe you could disable or shut down a tank. Um, Honestly, if you could like zap an airplane, like an enemy aircraft, that could be really good. I'd say that'd be like decent. If it could shut down an enemy aircraft for like 2 seconds or cause it to explode, that'd be good. But then after that, like it just fizzles away. That's it. So it'd be like temporary, but it'd be decent. Knight, I mean, Knight is strong, not that fast, and he's not that great with guns because he's a close quarter combat person. So unless he takes off all that armor and can sprint, he's basically just cannon fodder. Archers, similarly to spear goblins, they'd be very accurate. But I don't know how fast they would be. They walk pretty slow. Spear goblins walk pretty fast, so they'd be effective at like running and moving out of the way. Archers, I don't know though. Minions could be very effective. Having to aim in the air is already pretty difficult. But if you gave these minions like guns or something, or even their dark elixir from the sky, that could be very effective. Arrows could be very effective. Um, Depending on the type of like armor that our enemies have. If they have like full on helmets that's like metal and stuff like that, then not so much. But you never know. You could probably get like one or two people. I'd say maybe it's somewhat effective. The enemies that we'd be defending ourselves against would probably have like just a ton of bulletproof armor, and if they have it in the head, it's really not going to do much. Cannon could be somewhat effective. I mean, yeah, it's a huge cannon. Uh, yeah, no, that'd be pretty effective. Think about it. It doesn't matter how much armor you have. If like a 500-pound uh rock is coming after you, bomb I guess is hurled right at you, like you're done for. Very effective. Tesla, I don't know how effective Tesla would be. Maybe again as shutting down vehicles it could be good. But I mean the army is mainly long range battles, and you have to be somewhat close for the Tesla to do its job, and it would probably just electrocute like one person before getting blown to bits. I'd say maybe it's somewhat effective. Mortar would definitely be effective. Unbelievable amount of long range. Yeah, that bomb would deal so much damage. That would take out like 5 people. I'm gonna be honest. I think barbarians have like decent movement speed. I don't know if they'd be able to handle a gun well. They're basically cannon fodder. Minion Horde would be very effective because now you have 6 minions in the air holding guns and just raining bullets down to be horrible. I think Tombstone would just be useless, really. I mean, it practically be like cannon fodder, but like it's really not going to do much. Those two skeletons that spawn are literally just going to get steamrolled, and then what's going to happen? Like, they're just going to camp around the tombstone and then destroy the skeletons. At least with the regular skeletons, they could have guns and stuff, but the skeletons that spawn from the tombstone, they're not going to have anything. They're just going to get destroyed. It'd be useless. Musketeer be super effective. She already has a musket, right? If you change that to like a full auto rifle, it's over for enemies. Valkyrie, I'm gonna say Valkyrie would be pretty decent. Again, she doesn't have the fastest move speed and she doesn't have as much accuracy, but I could still see her. Like I could see if she dropped the axe, I could see her being a very fast character. So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say she'd be decent. Hog Rider. Hog Rider is definitely strong, definitely fast, but I don't know how good he would be holding like a gun or something. That like again, that hammer, like the Hog Rider would get killed in 2 seconds from like 20,000 bullets. But maybe if we gave him in the hog armor and like some weapons, I don't know. I feel like he could definitely be effective. Again, if he's super fast, right? That could be good. So I feel like he'd be somewhat effective. Mini P.E.K.K.A would be very effective because the enemies would have to waste all their explosives on him. And like yeah, it's made of metal and you could shoot and dent metal, but it would take like 1,000 bullets to actually destroy a mini P.E.K.K.A. And if you give that mini P.E.K.K.A a gun, what do you think it could possibly do? If you put the mini P.E.K.K.A, excuse me, in the front lines with a Tommy gun, right? We're gonna go mafia style with a Tommy gun, right? And he goes, "Say hello to my little friend," or he would just go pancakes, right? Everyone's getting mowed down. They would have to waste. They'd have to like target like the aircrafts, the tanks on him. He'd be massive. Fireball would be massive. It would burn everybody. Probably to the point where they can't really move on. Or it could just destroy a tank and cause it to explode. It'd be very effective. Bomb tower, no one's getting near the bomb tower. That's getting exploded before anything happens. I'd say it would be like decent cannon fodder. Because again, it would have to repel enemy troops before they inevitably destroy it with like a rocket or something. Goblin hut. Now, I don't know. I mean, again, the goblins wouldn't spawn with guns. They would just spawn with spears, right? But again, goblins are super fast, so I feel like they could run and get guns in time, right? The tombstone, the skeletons aren't getting guns in time; they're getting destroyed. But Goblin Hut maybe, so I'd say it could be decent, maybe. Giant is cannon fodder. If you give him like a bazooka or a gun, it could be very effective. But I don't think they're going to make a gigantic gun for the giant. I mean, there's a cannon for the royal giant, but again, that's like royalty. That's a cannon. We're in 2026 now. We use guns, and from what I know, I don't think there's a gun that's big enough for the giant to hold. So it would definitely be good cannon fodder though. And if he just charges and falls right on top of like 20 people, boom. Wizard, let's see. You can't put him in the front lines. He shoots fireballs. Maybe instead of shooting fireballs, he could shoot a gun. I don't know how good he'd be with that. He'd definitely have to be accurate like the archers to shoot his fireballs. So he definitely would be pretty decent with a gun. Inferno Tower is getting destroyed in 2 seconds. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, is that fair? Because the cannon, right? If I'm putting the cannon in effective, I can't put the Inferno Tower in not effective. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I guess the Inferno Tower would be decent because I'm thinking by the time like the enemies start shooting at the Inferno Tower, it's going to explode. Whereas the cannon, like I feel like the cannon would at least get like 1 or 2 hits off. I don't know. You guys have to tell me what to think here in the comments. Rocket, obviously. I mean, even nowadays, it is the perfect weapon that countries are using. Literally, missiles and rockets. It's probably the most effective thing. It's a rocket, and yes, you only get to use the rocket once, and then it goes away. But it is a gigantic missile. Come on, elixir collector. I mean, if the elixir would like buff all the troops, it could be good. So I'd say it might be like decent, but other than that, it's just cannon fodder. Barbarian HUD is cannon fodder. Again, the barbarians wouldn't spawn with guns; they'd spawn with swords. And unless there's a gun nearby, it's not gonna do much. Mirror is just a mirror; it's useless. Raid spell would definitely cause everything, all the troops to go berserk. But again, like they can only go as fast as the guns allow them to. Oh, maybe it can turn like all the guns into like super fast. They can just go like like unbelievably fast. That could be effective. I'll give that effectiveness. Skeleton army, I'll say decent because it is an army, and if you replace all their swords with guns, they could do something. And yeah, I mean, having like what 15 skeletons instead of 3 skeletons, that's good. That's just strength in numbers right there. Um, Goblin barrel. Okay, so let's see. You shoot the barrel in enemy lines, right? And then you have 3 goblins with knives. I'd say that could be like decent. Like maybe the barrel could hit a soldier in the head and that's it. But once the goblins actually spawn, they're getting sprayed at so quickly. I mean, baby dragon, that's what, like a war crime? If you have like a child participating, it's just a baby. I mean, that's like a war crime, but I guess if he had a fight for the good of the country, um, I don't know, he might. I think he might just be like cannon fodder. Again, his arms, the baby dragon's arms are too like scrawny. I feel like are small to hold a gun, and that fireball is probably not gonna do much before they inevitably just shoot him down. Freeze spell, yeah, maybe like somewhat effective. Because again, having all your enemy units freeze, right? You have like 10 seconds to just freely start shooting your gun, but after that, like the free spell just goes away. Um, and I don't think it'd be as effective as the rage spell in the amount of time they share. The witch could just keep summoning skeletons, right? And if she has to aim with her staff, she could probably aim with a gun. I'd say she'd be like decent. Yeah, just because she has to aim. Prince, I feel like kind of like the Hog Rider, he's pretty fast when he's off the pony. Um, I mean, he has that nice armor. Replace this lance with a gun, he could do well. But just off of his movement speed alone, he'd be somewhat effective, right? You need people to go fast. That balloon's getting shot down in 2 seconds. It's getting shot down in 2 seconds. And you know what's the sad part? That's gonna go right down and destroy like half of the people in our base. Like, no, that'd be disastrous to have around. Imagine a hot air balloon with all these explosives. Some of the other team just goes and it just goes flying down and kills like 30 troops. We don't want that. Up next, we have Giant Skeleton, and honestly, like the Giant Skeleton's kind of like the balloon, right? Unless he only shoots with one hand, right? He only fights in one hand because he's so busy carrying that bomb. Unless he Rambos it, which I don't think he will. I don't think he would have the accuracy to effectively shoot people. He's gonna get hit with like bullets and like a rocket and then explode, and then when that bomb drops, it's going to destroy like everybody on our side. It'd be horrible. Now the lightning spell can only hit 3 targets before it fizzles. But if it hits like 3 tanks, that would be massive, right? Like that'd be huge. So I'd say that's somewhat effective. But again, it strikes down 3 tanks and then fizzles. So it wouldn't be the most effective thing. Expo would be super effective. You put it all the way in the back. Maybe you could replace the darts with like explosives, and then that would be huge. Yeah, P.E.K.K.A is going to be like one of the most effective. I mean, again, I think if you even shot like a missile at it, I think it would. I think the P.E.K.K.A would just like not be completely destroyed with that. Um, yeah, and if you give her just like a huge gun or even like a rocket launcher, oh my god, she's gonna get like a trillion. Like literally, I kid you not. Give the P.E.K.K.A a gun, an assault rifle, and she's gonna get at least 200, 200 kills. Golem, let's see. I feel like breaking rock with guns would be pretty difficult to do. So I'm gonna say for the same reason like P.E.K.K.A, like but would be pretty effective. I don't think the golem would be able to hold a gun, which is the problem. That I don't think he'd be a huge threat on offense, but just for like defensive purposes, getting through that thick wall of rock would be huge. He'd definitely be somewhat effective. Royal Giant is massive. I mean, he has the accuracy, he has the strength, he has the beefiness. He might not have the best speed, but to even you have to spray a bunch of bullets in him to take him down. But as that's happening, he's gonna be just getting kill after kill. It'd be huge. Three Musketeers would be gigantic. I mean, you have three snipers basically on your team. That'd be massive. They would definitely rack up at least like 90 kills or something. Dark Prince, same thing as like the Prince, somewhat effective because of the movement speed. After that, no. All right, so poison. All right, well, this would be another war crime, right? This would be like mustard gas in World War I, but it's effective. I mean, that's all I can put it like that. Princess. Okay, so flaming arrows are a bit more effective than regular arrows. Plus, she has insanely good range. So maybe if you replace them with like little bombs or something, that could be good. I don't know, somewhat effective. Ice Wizard would not be that effective. I mean, again, he kind of has to aim, but wouldn't the gun just break in his hand? Like, I feel like that. I feel like it's kind of like cannon fodder type stuff. Now if the fire spirit could jump into a tank and take it out, that'd be huge. But otherwise, it's only gonna take out maybe like one unit. So like, I guess cannon fodder is like the worst thing. Um, Same thing with furnace. Like, can actually if the furnace can direct its fire spirits to jump into tanks and stuff, that'd be pretty good. But otherwise, like, kind of cannon fodder ish. Guards, cannon fodder. I mean, they would have shields, and instead of a spear, they have a gun. But yeah, not going to go far with that. Now, Miner could be huge, right? Because Miner could burrow anywhere. So if he could burrow all the way behind enemy lines, that would be massive, right? Kind of like the Goblin Barrel. But similarly to the Goblin Barrel, the second people see him, he's done for, right? But the beautiful thing that's the difference between the Goblin Barrel and the Miner is that people don't see the Miner when he's doing his attack, right? I mean, obviously in Clash Royale, like the actual game, you see it, but like the units in the towers aren't supposed to know that he's currently burrowing, right? So if he does that in an actual war and they have no clue what he's doing, then shows up that can be massive. Unlike the Goblin Barrel where they're all like, you know. So I'd say that's pretty effective. Sparky, Sparky probably take out like a few people before getting destroyed with the rocket launcher. Lava Hound is really just cannon fodder. Again, push her in the front line. She just flies until she gets shot down like 5 seconds after that. Ice Spirit, it's going next to cannon fodder with the Fire Spirit. Again, not like disastrous, right? Or not like completely useless, but actually, I take this back. Hold on. Tombstone would have to go next to Barbarian Hut. All right, I can't say that Barbarian Hut's cannon fodder, but the Tombstone's not. Like, they both spawn stuff to distract the enemy. Bowler, I don't know. Bowler, if you give him, like, a rocket launcher, something heavy, or maybe he could, like, bowl out, like, a bomb or something, that could be decent. But otherwise, like, no. I'll say just off of his strength, maybe. Probably cannon fodder. Sorry, buddy. A huge log with spikes on it could be somewhat effective, but I don't think it's going to stop everything, especially if like they shoot at it, right? The enemy troops shoot at it, it's going to like wither away into nothing before it actually hits someone. We have a raging alcoholic. I don't even trust him with my guns. Honestly, having this raging alcoholic on my team, I wouldn't not trust. I'm gonna be honest, I would not trust with a gun. Maybe you could go Rambo style, but I feel like it might be disastrous. And if he survives the war, he is going to be probably very messed up. He's gonna drink himself. Snow Golem, probably just cannon fodder. Not gonna be able to do much. Mega Minion, oh my god, I mean, probably somewhat effective. Again, it's not like three people like the regular minions, and it is easier to shoot at since he's bigger. But there's a flying unit, so that'd be somewhat effective. Inferno Dragon, I don't think the Inferno Dragon's arms are long enough to hold a gun, but he does have that armor, so it'd be kind of like a nice little like sponge. But then again, its Inferno Beam would definitely deal damage, especially if it hit like a tank before and explode it before it inevitably gets shot down. Inevitably, Inferno Dragon's decent. Graveyard Spell, I mean, if you put like guns inside the graveyard spell be good, but again, it's just gonna be goblin. It's just gonna be skeletons with knives. Like maybe a decent distraction, but it's not gonna be the most effective thing. Elite barbarians are super fast. I'd say they're definitely somewhat effective, but again, I don't know how they'd be able to handle guns. So tornado could be massive. But then it would just fizzle away. So maybe throw around, kind of destroy like 10 enemy troops, but then fizzles and that's it. Clone spell. Again, it depends on what you're cloning. Obviously, it would be super effective, especially if you decide to clone like the P.E.K.K.A. Well, actually, it gets shot. It gets taken down in 1 second. But the clone, right? Because clones only have 1 HP. But the clone, like, obviously be effective, but it depends on what you're cloning. Um. So yeah, in that case, you can't really include it in this. Yeah. Electro Wizard. I mean, same reason as the regular wizard, has to shoot it, but I don't think electricity would really affect the gun. So just decent. Goblin Gang. Goblin Gang, so you'd have 6 goblins. I'd say it's somewhat effective. Like the regular goblins. Dark Goblin. Dark Goblin is really good accuracy and very good speed. I don't know how well he'd be at holding a gun, but maybe if it's like a light pistol, right, it could definitely be good. I say it's effective. Battering Ram is not going anywhere. The 2 barbarians on the bottom would get shot immediately and die. Cannon fodder. Executioner has to have accuracy, but he walks so slow. Decent. Bats are just cannon fodder. They would do nothing. Heal Spirit would be very effective. Everyone needs a medic. Everyone needs a healer. The Heal Spirit would definitely be good to have in battle. Let's just say like someone really good like the Musketeer is injured, right? The Heal Spirit jumps on the Musketeer, and now she can continue battle. Bandit's sneaky. She's super fast, but she would have no experience with accuracy, no experience with guns. So Night Witch, kind of decent, like the Witch, I guess. Actually, no, because she doesn't even. She's a melee unit. She doesn't aim with her staff or anything. She stabs with the staff. So yeah, cannon fodder. Skeleton Barrel, realistically, it's just cannon fodder. Those 2 balloons are getting knocked down immediately, and then the skeletons are getting mowed down as well. Flying Machine would be very effective if no one touches the Flying Machine, right? I mean, realistically, it's war, so it's going to get shot down 5 seconds. But Flying Machine would definitely deal a good amount of damage before going down. Cannon Cart would be very effective, would deal a good amount of damage before going down. Mega Knight. Mega Knight has a huge suit of armor. If people could shoot through the armor, like through and in the eyes, it became over. But I think it would definitely be like a very effective wall, kind of like the Golem. And if he does end up jumping on a couple people, it will be game over for them. But I don't know. Maybe somewhat. He does move super slow. That is the problem. So I'm actually gonna say somewhat effective. And again, he can't hold a gun because he has the 2 gigantic maces on its hands. Zappies, I mean, decent. Again, because they are metal, it would take a while for the enemy troops to destroy it, but it's not going to deal that much damage. Barbarian Barrel, it's like worse than the Goblin Barrel because it can't be placed behind enemy lines. It's really just cannon fodder. Hunter would be good. Because he has the accuracy, he literally wields a gun. So maybe we could give him like a sniper gun or something because his movement speed is so bad. But he definitely looks strong enough to hold a sniper gun. He definitely looks like he has the patience and the accuracy to shoot a sniper. So good job. Royal Ghost. Okay, now Royal Ghost would actually be really good. Think about it. People don't know he's there and can't damage him until he physically hits something. So we strap a giant bomb on the Royal Ghost's back, and yeah. Tick, 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 boom. All right, Magic Archer has very good accuracy. Not the fastest move speed. But again, maybe like give it a sniper. Maybe. Actually, but then that aspect, then the archers would have to get like snipers, right? Yeah. Then in that case, the archers are effective too. Rascals are not doing anything. I don't care if you have accuracy for slingshots. Like you guys are getting mowed down. Your cannon fodder. Snowball. And maybe decent. Like the snow could probably hurt, knock down a couple enemies, not kill them, but just knock them down and slow them. But other than that, it's not going to do much. Royal Recruits. I mean, instead of spears, if we gave them like pistols, they could be good. And they also have the armor and the shield, but that armor is made out of like wood and metal. I don't know. Maybe like somewhat effective. Royal hogs. I mean, it's so like we shouldn't include animals in warfare, but if we had to, right? I mean, the royal hog. Like I don't know. I think they would get exploded immediately. Realistically, they're getting shot down in 2 seconds. Similar to the goblin giant, the two goblins on his back. Maybe if they wielded, like pistols, it could do well. But yeah, Electro Dragon. And it's another air unit, but again, it can't really hold a gun or do much. I'd say it's like basically cannon fodder as well. Ram Rider, kind of like the Prince, Dark Prince, and Hog Rider. Like, well, actually, the Ram Rider has to actually have accuracy with that slingshot, so she'd be effective because she's already fast, right, with the ram and stuff. And then if she could literally just Rambo it, right, that those rocks look heavy, so she could definitely hold a gun, just go like, so effective. Wall breakers are basically bombers. They could be effective. I think they might get mowed down, but if they connect, which I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and they do connect, could be massive damage. Earthquake would be huge, especially if you aim it at the tanks. It would be game over. Goblin Cage is cannon fodder. I mean, it would literally, honestly, not even cannon fodder. Like I think if a sniper hits the goblin in the cage, it's not gonna do anything. Like anything at all. I mean, but I guess it's still effective because it's cannon fodder. I don't know. Fisherman has to aim with the hook, and the hook is pretty heavy, so decent. But again, he has such slow movement speed. Electric Golem be good cannon fodder. I could absorb all the bullets and probably just like squeeze it out. But the second they decide to use a rocket on it, it's game over. Battle healer, again, we all need medics. Would be very effective if she just stayed in the back and healed people. Very good. Firecracker, very effective. I mean, she wields a huge rocket launcher, which would be good at taking out tanks and aircraft and stuff like that. Royal delivery. I think they might just explode it before the box even arrives. Maybe it's somewhat effective. It lands on the heads of like 5 enemy troops, but then that's it. Skeleton dragons probably are getting taken out. They're probably like decent. I don't know. Because they're made out of bone, they might be a bit more resilient than the baby dragon, right? But yeah. Electro Spirit, kind of like these guys, are just cannon fodder. Electro Giant, kind of just like Giant, would just be cannon fodder. And I don't know if there's a gun big enough in our era for the Giant to hold. Mother Witch has to aim with the staff, so maybe like a little pistol, but I don't know. If you give her a pistol and she has that accuracy with the staff she's been doing like for like 1,000 years with the pistol, she could be lethal. She might walk super slow, but she could be lethal. Goblin Drill. Okay, now Goblin Drill can be very good. Um, if it goes behind the enemy lines and stuff and just keeps spawning goblins, which could then like stab the enemy and steal their guns, that'd be good. But realistically, the second an enemy notices it, like they're all getting destroyed. Cause they spawn knife goblins, not spear goblins. Golden Knight, Golden Knight, somewhat effective. I mean, the dash ability would be good, right? If you give him armor and some and a gun, he could just keep running and just running, gunning the whole time. Archer could definitely be effective. I mean, she's the queen of like archery and stuff like that, right? Her accuracy is really good. You probably give her like a sniper, one shot, one kill would be really good. Skeleton King's basically cannon fodder, especially with that ability. Mighty Miner could honestly burrow underground. That bomb could deal some serious damage. But if he can't do that ability unless he has the bomb in his hand, the drill in his hand, which would not be that good. So like decent. Phoenix is cannon fodder. It's not going to do much. Monk. Okay, actually, if you think about it, if Monk deflects every single bullet that is getting shot at him, that would be massive. Imagine if there's like 1,000 enemy units, right? Like a mile long worth of units, and they all shoot at the monk, and he uses his ability, that would be massive, right? Any tanks that shoot their rockets at him, reflected back, to be massive. Little Prince, I mean, Little Prince has accuracy, um, like somewhat effective. Yeah. Actually, no, he has to be accurate. He's effective. And then his guard could obviously like be like cannon fodder. Void spell. Void spell's not gonna deal much. I mean, if it hits someone in the head or something like that and deals damage, it might take out like 3 units and then they can't continue in battle, but it's not gonna like completely kill anyone. Goblin Demolisher is probably getting. Actually, I feel like that'd be bad, right? Because if someone shoots him, right, and right with an actual like assault rifle, right, he gets shot at. He's already at half HP. Gets shot at again in a span of 2 seconds, explodes, and then kills like every single like troop we have in our front lines. Goblin Curse could actually be pretty good. Because if the first like 30 people on the enemy's front lines get all mowed down by our troops' guns, can turn them all into goblins. Definitely be like a good distraction. Goblin Machine, the rockets themselves would be good. I don't know how well the baby goblin would be, like holding a pistol or something, but it'd be a nice thing if the machine can lock on with its rockets. Suspicious Bush, uh could be good, but people do see it, right? So it'd be nice for like stealth, but if someone sees it, it'd be bad. And then also the goblins aren't going to do much underneath it. Goblin Stein is not going to do much. It's going to get mowed down, and that's it. I mean, the Goblin Stein himself does range, right? He has to have accuracy, which could be good, but I mean, realistically, he's just going to get mowed down. Rune Giant's cannon fodder. Actually, well, Rune Giant would boost everyone else, which could be good, right? If she boosts like the attack speed of like all the snipers, it could be good. But then after that, she's getting taken out in 2 seconds. Berserker is literally cannon fodder. Boss Bandit. I mean, I hate Boss Bandit, right? She's a thief. She's the head of all criminals. I don't know. It could be disastrous, but if she does want to defend our country, she could be somewhat effective for her speed. Spirit Empress, I think she uses a sword, but she has to aim with it. So if she aims with a gun, it could be better. So I'd say like effective. Now her in the sky could be just as good as long as we have some armor on the dragon. Then once the dragon dies, not so much. Fine spell, like maybe if it could like hold down like, I don't know, a tank or any like bombers that try to come near us, but it's not gonna hold down a tank or anything like that. Maybe like reach up and like pull down aircraft, but I don't think vines are that strong. And now we have the tower troops, crown tower troops. Princess has a lot of accuracy, she'd be good. Yeah, Cannoneer would be good. Wait, if I put Princess Crown Tower, then regular Princess would have to be effective. Cannoneer would be good. Dagger Duchess would be good. Royal Chef would be good because they all have to aim. And I think if you gave them a gun, it'd be good. They'd be good at shooting it. So, yeah. I think I did this right. That is my definitive Clash Royale military ranking tier list. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, as it would truly help me out a lot. And if you guys agreed or disagreed with this video, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as per usual, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.